Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Although Pakistan is an Islamic republic and it was established for the purpose of having an Islamic state, it still continues to be a secular system which was established by the British for the purposes of controlling the colonies. So even after 72 years of independence, Pakistan has still not developed an Islamic system. And the question is, why is that so? One of the reasons is that Pakistan's elite, Pakistan's powerful people are not allowing an Islamic system to develop. As a matter of fact, right from the very beginning, the people who have held power in Pakistan have not allowed any Islamic movement to get any kind of success. Whenever people have made effort to bring an Islamic state or Islamic system, they have been crushed. And that continues to be the case till this day. And it is for the common people to understand that Pakistan has tried every system that one can think of. It has tried military governments, it has tried civilian governments, it has tried different political parties, it has tried capitalism, it's experimented with Bhutto's socialism, and none of that has worked. The only thing Pakistan has not tried is the Islamic system. And the people in power throughout history of Pakistan have not allowed the common people to even know what that system is. All the schools, colleges, universities, all the institutions, the media, they are packed with people who will not even discuss what the Islamic system was and how it can be established. So whether you want to call it a conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, the thing is the people in power feel threatened by an Islamic system because it's a system of justice. Islam is against oppression of any kind, whether it is economic oppression, political oppression, any type of oppression. And the people who are in power, they do not want the people to know how Islam stopped the oppression of all kinds. They are enjoying the power and they want to continue with the status quo. So politicians and military governments and military leaders come and tell people they are going to solve their problems. But we have known from history of Pakistan that the problems have not been solved and they have become even worse. So it is for the common person to make a decision if they want to continue with this kind of status quo, which is oppressive, or they want to change the status quo. And if they want to change the status quo, they will have to do something themselves. The government is not going to do that. The governments are there only for their own purpose. The rulers of Pakistan, you can see, they loot the treasury and they go overseas and they settle down there. So Pakistan is just a victim of all these kind of mafia gangs, if you want to call them, who come, take the wealth, and then they move out of the country and settle down. So it's for the common people to make a decision whether they will accept this kind of continuation of corrupt elites, of corrupt mafias. One mafia is replaced by another mafia. So they come into power and they want to eliminate opposition and entrench themselves and continue with the oppression that they exercise. So it is up to the average person to say enough is enough, and we need to go back to the roots, to go back to the Quran and the Sunnah, and to go back to a system of justice. Just imagine the system that the British established over 100 years ago of law courts of justice is still in place in Pakistan. All the laws that were made are still operating in Pakistan. And people generally do not even understand what's going on. The judges, the lawyers are trained in the British and the American system. And the system of justice is so expensive that people go into debt trying to get justice from the system. And it takes so long that by the time the cases are decided, so many lives are ruined. So that is not the kind of justice system that Islam brought. The Islamic system of justice is very different. And these people who are enjoying the benefits of the system are not going to change it. These lawyers, these judges who are fully entrenched in this system, they love this system. And same is the case with the politicians. They're not interested in changing the system because the system benefits them. And they keep telling people, they keep giving them hope that better days are ahead, things are going to change. But because they are enjoying the system, they are not going to change the system. Whether it's the judicial system, the legislative system, or the services, the civil service or the army, all these institutions that Pakistan has, or the media for that matter. The media people are also enjoying themselves, making enormous amounts of money, and are very happy with the system. The only people who are not happy with the system are the ones who have no power. And in fact, the responsibility is on those people because they have to take the decision whether these people who are in power, whether they should continue to be in power. They've asked for time. Just imagine how many civilian governments, elected governments, have had so much time and what they produced. And look at the record of these governments compared with the record of the Khulafa Rashidin. How much time they had and what kind of government they produced. But the common person doesn't know about it. And the educated elite is trained in a system that has nothing to do with Islam. It's not even their goals. These people come from foreign universities, trained in foreign laws, foreign thinking, and they try to do the same thing in Pakistan and benefit from that. And if they are removed, then their base is overseas, and they go back. So these kind of people are still enjoying the power, and the common person is not aware of how the problem is to be solved. The ulama are completely ignored. They are completely on the sidelines, and they're not allowed to even participate in the process. And the common person thinks that the ulama and the people who have an Islamic thinking, the people who have Islamic knowledge, do not have the solutions to the problems. This kind of brainwashing or this kind of indoctrination has has ruined the lives of millions of people. So the question is, what is the solution? The solution is there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the solution to all the problems. The solution is in the Quran. The solution is in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran and the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam are solution for all problems of all mankind. In fact, the whole humanity is suffering as a result of these devilish systems that have been created by human beings over a period of time. One has to understand, when Allah makes the laws, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes laws for all mankind, rich, poor, black, white, man, woman, everybody. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's laws are for benefiting the entire humanity. When human beings make laws, they make laws to benefit a certain group of people. When white people make law, they will make laws that will suit the white people. When the black people make laws, they will make laws to suit the black people. When the rich people make laws, they will make laws that will support the rich people. And when the poor make laws, they will make laws to support the poor people. So we see there are so many different models, so many different systems, and each system has flaws because they are made by people who are interested only in their own group. When the capitalists make laws, they will make laws that will support capitalism. The communists make laws, they will support communism. Or when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes laws, He makes laws that will support everybody. And what we have done is we have rejected the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and substituted those with the laws made by human beings. As a matter of fact, Pakistan is now operating on laws that were made by the colonial power. And those laws were made by them to benefit that power, to benefit them. And these laws continue to be in force, and they are benefiting not the colonial masters now, but they are benefiting their heirs. They are the people who inherited power from them. So this is a tragedy that is going on, and most people don't even realize. And the people who are educated, or supposedly the leaders who are educating the masses, they're giving them the wrong education. They're giving them ideas that this will improve the lot of the people. So once again, this is very important for especially those people who are knowledgeable in Islam, to explain to the people, to come out and tell the people that all this system that exists right now, where the corrupt people get elected, they get into power, and then they start doing the same thing which the previous group did. The system that is going on, which is rigged, which is inherently corrupt, where only the people who have the means, the material means or connections, who get into positions of power. In an Islamic system, the people who are in power, their lives are according to the Quran and Sunnah. One has to see at the people who are in power today and see how many of these people are even praying 5 times a day, which is the lowest level, the minimum level of Islam. There's no Islam below 5 times prayer. This is the lowest level of Islam. And if one looks at the people who are in power and see how many of these people are at the lowest level of Islam. Umar Raziyallahu anhu, when he became the Khalifa, he made an announcement. He said, I regard Salat to be the most important duty. It would be unthinkable for anyone to be in a position of power during the time of the Khulafa Rashidin to be not doing salat. And these were people who were doing salat in the masjid. The head of the state, the Amir al-Mu'mineen, was leading the prayer. He was giving the khutbah. Can that be said about the present rulers? Can the present rulers lead the prayers? Can they give the khutbahs? Do they have even that much knowledge to give instruction about Islam? How can you have Islamic State when you cannot even do the basics? The people in authority and power, they were in the masjid 5 times a day. They were accessible to the common people. Today, can that be said about people? Are these people available in the masjid? Do they pray in the masjid? Are they accessible to the common person? Islam is the real people's government. Islam produced a real people's government. An ordinary person could approach the head of the state. It could approach the governor. It could approach the people in authority. Those were the real public servants. Today you don't see that. Can you say these people are available to the public? Look at the lifestyle. Look at the way they live like kings. In palatial houses, in great luxury. And look at the common person who doesn't even get enough food. So what type of system of justice is this? What type of system of humanity is this? That standard of living of the Khalifa, the head of the state, was no higher than the common person. Nobody could point the finger and say the Khalifa is living in great luxury and we are suffering in misery. We've heard stories about the Khalifas and how they lived their lives. And we know the stories about Umar bin Abdul Aziz, who was not one of the Khulafa Rashidin, but still his short rule was such that they could not find people to give zakat to, because his own standard of living was so low that he was not there to enrich himself. He was there to help the common people. So this is something, this education is not being allowed to be given. The mainstream media is not going to talk about this. The schools and colleges are not going to talk about it. Because these people who established these institutions, they are enjoying benefiting from this corrupt system. And they're not going to let people know what's going on. They will keep them busy with frivolous things. They keep them busy with useless stuff. Fill the media with nonsensical stuff. To keep people busy in things that they don't have time to even reflect, to know what the history is and how Rasulullah transformed the society from being the most backward people. They became the best people on the face of the earth. And the world has not seen anything like that since that time. So this is a very important part of education. The common person is not going to get this information from these sources, whether these sources are in the educational institutions, because they are also corrupt. Whether they are in the media, they are also part of this mafia. So if you hear that this group is better than that, this is all nonsense, because they are all part of the same corrupt system. And the people have to educate themselves. Social media is one of the ways people can get educated, because this is one thing. They would like to control this also, so people don't get information, so people can go on suffering and not even know why they're suffering. So this is now a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that there are opportunities for people to educate themselves and then try to correct the system. وآخر الدعوانا إن الحمد لله رب العالمين.